page builder plugin. Now this is a plugin that's very popular in the WordPress community, primarily because it's free. And I also have to say that over the last couple of years, it has made lots of improvements, especially in the extensions aspect. Back in the days when I first started using this plugin a few years ago, it was cool, it was a good plugin, it was fast. The problem back then though was that it was a bit limited in terms of overall functionality, so the kinds of websites you could build with the plugin were a bit limited. But like I said, thanks to lots of third-party developers, there are now many extensions available that will help you enhance the functionality of the original page builder plugin. So let us give you a very quick tip here. Now you can see I have already installed the page builder by Site Origin plugin, but you can see I also have 6 other plugins that I have installed as well. These are the plugins I would recommend that you install. They will help to add more functionality to the original page builder by Site Origin plugin. You can see them: background videos, live mesh, Site Origin CSS, a very fantastic add-on for Site Origin, the widgets bundle, widgets by Codelines, and of course widgets for Site Origin. And then when you activate all these plugins, you want to come down here to Site Origin widgets on the plugins, and you will see a full list of all the available extensions thanks to the plugins that you've installed. So I'll recommend you go ahead and activate only the ones that you actually want to use. I'm only activating all these ones over here because, well, I'm recording this video and I just wanted to show you how it would look like. So that's just a very quick tip for you. Make sure you install those 6 plugins and then jump down to Site Origin widgets and then activate all the extensions that you plan to use. When it comes to building a page with the Site Origin plugin, I think most people will find the interface fairly easy to use. I think it's user-friendly, it's not intimidating. So basically, if you wanted to add content, there are 3 ways how you can do this. You can add a widget, a row, or simply use a pre-built layout. So let's say, for example, we added a widget. Now, when you click on the button over here, you would have access to all the extensions that you have activated, and you can see how they're all well laid out. It's pretty cool. And over here to the left, you can simply click on the category of widgets, and then you will find only the widgets or extensions that are unique to that particular category. So this is a pretty cool way of displaying all available extensions. Now, clicking on a row, again, pretty awesome way of displaying your row layout. You can choose the number of columns you want. You can increase that or you can reduce that if you wanted to. You could also change the ratio of the columns width from one another. So the default is even 1, where all the columns will have the same width. If you change this, for example, to let's say hecton as an example, the very first column will have a width of 44.1%, second 32.3%, and so on and so forth. And you can also change the direction. So the default is left to right. You change this to right to left, and now it is the very last column that has the 44.1% width, and then so on and so forth. You can actually determine the individual widths of the columns by simply clicking and dragging. So this is a pretty awesome way of determining how wide you want specific columns to be, and you can be as specific as you want. I mean, imagine you being able to say you want your very first column to have a width of 30.1%. You really cannot get any more specific than this. So this is a very cool feature that comes with Site Origin. Now over here to the right as well, you have attributes, access to the attributes where you can add your classes, your IDs. But there is another very cool feature that comes with Site Origin, and that is the fact that you can decide to show the contents of a row or hide the contents of a row based on the screen orientation. So as an example over here now, we have 5 different available options. You can either decide to show the row on all orientations, or you can decide to show the row specifically on a portrait orientation, likewise on a landscape orientation specifically, or you can do the reverse. You can hide the row if it's being viewed on a portrait orientation, or hide the row if it's based on a landscape orientation. So again, a very fantastic feature that comes with Site Origin, and big props to them for that. There's also access to the history tab here as well, where you can keep track of all the changes you've made over a period of time, and then you can simply choose to revert those changes. So another pretty cool feature with Site Origin. And of course, they also have access to the live editor. You click in there and this will give you access to the live editor where you can make your changes, and you will see how this would look like from the front end. You can also take a look at the different views on different mobile devices as well. So overall, some pretty cool features with the Site Origin plugin. I have to say that it is definitely one of the best page builder plugins out there. It is free to use, and it also has lots of features. It's made lots of upgrades in the last couple of years. The two major downsides of using Site Origin are the fact that the pre-built templates are inferior to other page builders, and also if you are building from the front end, I can say that the front end experience with Site Origin is vastly inferior to all other page builder plugins out there. But overall, it's still a very good plugin. It is free to use, it's fast, and I am going to give it a score of 4.4 out of 5. Alright, so next up will be the Beaver Builder Page Builder plugin. Now, this is a plugin that is also very popular in the WordPress community. Lots of people love using Beaver Builder, and I can tell you in my humble opinion that Beaver Builder is the fastest of all the page builder plugins out there. That's just my humble opinion. Other developers out there might have a different opinion. Now, just very similar to the Site Origin plugin, when you install the primary Beaver Builder plugin, you want to go ahead and install some extra plugins as well. This will help to add more functionality to the original plugin. And the top two I'll recommend would be the Power Pack Lit for Beaver Builder, and of course the Ultimate add-ons for Beaver Builder as well. So adding these two will improve the functionality of your page builder, and of course you can see right now you're going to have access to several modules out here. So with Site Origin we call the extensions widgets. For Beaver Builder the extensions are called modules. So you can see right now, once you install those two plugins we recommended, you will have access to the Power Pack modules, and you will also have access to the UABB modules as well. Building a page with the Beaver Builder plugin is a different experience from other page builder plugins out there, and that is because you can only build a page from the front end. So if you're someone who prefers building pages from the back end, well, you might be disappointed with Beaver Builder, but if you prefer front end development, then Beaver Builder is definitely your plugin. So adding content is fairly straightforward. You click on add content over here, and of course from here right now you will have access to all the modules that you have installed, and you can also add your rows and columns as well. So Beaver Builder works with the drag and drop feature. So if we wanted to create a 3-column layout as an example right now, we'll click on 3 columns over here and then drag that to wherever we want the row to appear. Release the mouse, and now we have access to the 3 columns. And from here right now we can begin to add individual modules to each column. And just like with every other page builder plugin out there, we can add background colors, margins, paddings, background images to our rows and columns as well. But let me say that I believe that the interface for Beaver Builder is a bit more complicated than that of Site Origin. I think if you are new to WordPress, you are a beginner, I think you will find Site Origin easier to use than Beaver Builder. If on the other hand you are more experienced with WordPress, you've worked with several page builder plugins out there, I think that it won't take you that long to adjust to Beaver Builder, and there are lots of cool things that you can do with Beaver Builder as well. We have access to tools over here that would allow you to duplicate your layout. You can also add specific CSS and JavaScript code for this particular page, which I think is awesome. We also have access to global settings where you can change how you want your margins and paddings and individual modules to appear all over your WordPress website. One major downside of using the Beaver Builder plugin, especially if you're using the free version, is the fact that you don't have any access to templates. So that's a bit of a bummer, but if you go with the pro version of the plugin, you will have access to a wide variety of templates, from landing pages to content pages. And of course from their website you can take a look at all the individual templates they have. So as an example right now we do have a template for about our company. You click on the view demo link and you can see right now this is the demo. This is how the template would look like. This is a lot better than the templates that you get from Site Origin. I can say that with a fact. So I guess the best thing about Beaver Builder is if you're going with the Pro version, you can build out pages very quickly because their templates are very good. So all you need to do is basically insert the template and then modify the template with your own content. A bit of a bummer is that the pricing is a bit expensive. It is the most expensive page builder plugin out there, with the standard license coming in at $99 and the most expensive, which is the agency that will grant you access to white labeling and some other features as well, is at $399. So I will say that the best things about Beaver Builder is the fact that it is very fast. The templates, the pre-built templates, are extremely good. The downside though is that to get access to the templates you will need the Pro version, and also I think that the modules that you get for free are kind of limited as well. You have more modules available with a Site Origin compared to Beaver Builder. So my overall score for the Pro version of the Beaver Builder plugin is going to be a 4.6 out of 5. It is very quick, and you also have access to some really good templates which will help you build out pages a lot quicker. The free version, on the other hand, will get a score of 4.2. I think it's still very quick. It's a very good plugin as well. The only problems are you don't have access to any page templates, and also the modules that you have access to are pretty limited with the free version. Alright, so number 3 page builder plugin is going to be Visual Composer, and for a very long time this was my go-to page builder plugin. It is extremely popular, arguably the most popular page builder plugin on WordPress. And one of the very best things about Visual Composer is the fact that it has way more extensions than any other page builder plugin. I don't think there's any other page builder plugin that has the number of add-ons that Visual Composer has. So inside Origin we call them widgets, in Beaver Builder we call them modules. With Visual Composer we call them add-ons, but they're basically just extensions that will improve the functionality of the original page builder plugin. So with Visual Composer, we'll definitely recommend going with the add-ons for Visual Composer by Live Mesh. You can also go with the image hover effects by Labib Ahmed and mega add-ons for Visual Composer by Nasir. These are really good extensions that you can add, but then again there are so many other extensions out there. All you have to do is to type in Visual Composer in your search box and you will have access to all these fantastic plugins. Another cool thing with the Visual Composer plugin is the fact that you have access to the role manager that would allow you to control access to features based on the role of the user. So as an example, you could decide to restrict our contributors to work only with posts and not pages, and you can restrict access to the back end editor or the front editor, page settings, templates, and so much more. So this is a really cool security feature that comes with the Visual Composer page builder plugin. Building a page with the Visual Composer plugin I think is a very cool experience. I think its interface is superior to those of the Beaver Builder and Site Origin page builder plugins. Adding content is fairly easy. Clicking on the plus button right here will give you access to all the available add-ons, and you can also choose the category up in here as well. So pretty cool with how all these extensions are laid out. And unlike the Beaver Builder that restricts you to working only from the front end, with Visual Composer you can work from the back end or the front end. So there is something for everyone depending on where you choose to develop from. Visual Composer also comes with lots of templates as well. You can access them by clicking on the template library and clicking Access Library, and this will give you access to a wide variety of pre-built templates as well, and I think they are very similar to those of Beaver Builder. Maybe one could argue that Beaver Builders are maybe slightly more superior. However, these are definitely better than those offered by Site Origin in my humble opinion. Despite all the cool features offered by the Visual Composer plugin, I have to say that there are 3 major downsides, and one is the fact that there is no free version of the plugin. You either pay $34 or you don't get to use the plugin at all. Second is speed. In my humble opinion, it is the slowest of all the page builders, so speed is definitely not one of its strongest points. And then finally, it is shortcode based, which means that if you build a page using Visual Composer, like what you have right now, And if you chose to end up deactivating the plugin or uninstalling it, this page right now will turn to this. So rather than seeing the previous content, you end up seeing all this shortcodes and a gibberish text. So that's definitely one major downside with using the plugin. It is shortcode based, and if you've built several pages using the plugin and you end up deactivating it, you will lose all those pages. Overall, Visual Composer is a solid page builder. You have access to more add-ons and extensions than any other page builder plugin. It also provides you with the ability to build your pages from the front end and back end, and you have access to lots of page templates as well. However, the negatives that come with the plugin make it the least likely of all that I'll recommend, and I'm going to give it a score of 4.4 out of 5. Alright, so this brings us to the last page builder on our list, and coincidentally this happens to be my favorite page builder plugin, and I'm talking about the Elementor page builder plugin. Now, I only started using this plugin a couple of months ago. Before then I was mostly using Site Origin and Visual Composer, but ever since I started using Elementor, I have fallen in love with the plugin, and I can honestly say that there are no major downsides towards using Elementor. It is nearly the perfect page builder plugin in my opinion. So just to give you some quick tips, there is something very cool that comes with the plugin, and that is the fact that you can actually choose a maintenance mode with the plugin. So you can choose from either a coming soon mode or a maintenance mode. So basically, if you wanted to build your site and you wanted people to know that your site will soon be live, you're currently working on it, you could put a coming soon mode, and that will display a page saying, hey, coming soon, check back at the end of the month or something like that. Or you could also go with a maintenance mode, where of course if you are performing maintenance on your site, you can always put up this mode as well. So I thought this was a pretty cool feature that comes with the plugin. Regarding additional add-ons for the Elementor page builder, there are quite a few of them that are good, but the one I would recommend the most would be the Press Elements widgets for Elementor by Press Elements. What this add-on does is that it would allow you to configure the page title for the page or post. You can add a featured image, add a author biography, or even the author image and a few other meta information like that. So I'll definitely recommend adding the Press Elements widgets for Elementor add-on. Building a page with the Elementor page builder plugin, in my opinion, is a very cool experience. The slight downside here is the fact that you cannot build from the back end. So it's kind of like very similar to the Beaver builder, where you can only build from the front end. But I believe that if you've never built from the front end before, you will absolutely love building from the front end using this plugin. The interface is very easy to use, it is easy to navigate your way around, and it's also very fast as well. So it's all about clicking and dragging. Right now we have options of adding a template or adding a new section. I can add a new section, choose my structure, the column layout. Let's go with 2 columns, and then from here right now I can begin to add my respective widgets into the column. So you can go with the text editor as an example, click and drag, drop that in there. You can edit your text. There is the style tab in here where you can change the alignment, add the text color. You can also turn in typography settings as well. This will give you access to changing the size of the text. You can change the font family, the weight, add styles, transforms line heights, letter spacings, and so much more. Really cool. There is also the advanced tab where you can add your margins and patterns as well. And of course you can also add backgrounds and borders, and you can also choose to hide or show the elements based on the screen size. Pretty cool features that you can get. So you also have access to so many other widgets as well. And like I said, when you install the Press Elements add-on, you will have access to other additional widgets like the page title. So you can add a custom page title, you can add the page excerpt, the page date, page author, terms, featured image, and so much more. So again, I'll highly recommend you go ahead and install the Press Elements free add-on for Elementor. I also love the fact that when you click on the hamburger menu over here, this will give you access to global colors, where you can choose from a variety of color palettes to use on your site. You can go with the global fonts as well, where you can choose to use a specific font for your primary headlines. You can choose the font family, choose the weights as well. You can do the same thing for your secondary headline, your body text, and your accent text as well. There is also the cool revision history where you can save your revisions and then also revert them if you wanted to. And of course, there is also access to the page settings as well, where you can change the title. You can choose to hide the title if you don't want to display it. You can choose from a series of templates depending on the theme you have, and you can also change the status from draft to private to published to whatever you want to change it to. Coming down here, we have access to some additional features as well. You can go with the responsive mode that would allow you to preview your page on different devices. Really cool, really useful feature. You have access to the templates library where you can go ahead and insert any template that you want to use. Now the templates over here are definitely superior to those of Site Origin in my opinion. Maybe slightly inferior to those of Beaver Builder, but still many of them are really good templates that you can apply. Not all are free, some are available only with the pro version of the plugin, but with the free version you can get access to some really cool templates like the About Startup, About CV, and a few other ones as well. Now there is a pro version of the plugin that gives you access to more features such as the ability to add custom CSS. You have access to a lot more page templates and much more. But overall, I have to say that the Elementor Page Builder plugin is my favorite of all the 4 plugins that we've discussed. It is very quick, it is easy to navigate your way around, the interface is user-friendly, you have access to lots of page templates that you can apply, and the page development process itself is very smooth and very interactive. So I am going to give Elementor a score of 4.8 out of 5.